What's up guys, Victor here back for another video, and in this video I'm going to showcase my Herta team fighting against the Apocalyptic Shadows Cocolia. And the reason I want to showcase this is because Cocolia, number one, has ice resistance, and also she doesn't have ice weakness. And let's see how the Herta team can actually perform on this enemy, because this team is one of the best teams right now in the current meta of Honkai style. So without further ado, let's introduce my Herta team. As you can see right now on my screen, this is my quote-unquote premium Herta team. So this video is just for fun. I'm not saying that this is a budget team. I'm not saying that the Herta can actually defeat Cocolia without these characters. It's just that I just want to showcase how fun this team is, how fun this premium team is, and the potential that it has. Of course, the reason I think they are so strong in this current meta is because they're the current meta in this game. And we don't know what future lies with this team. We don't know if this is a future pro. We don't know how long the life cycle of this team. But I am positive that right now this team is kind of a little bit future proof. Little bit. I think this age like milk for real. But the thing is, this team will do well in pure fiction. So if you have this team, one half of your pure fiction is already good. So you need to find another team for your pure fiction that can actually clear it. But yeah, without further ado, let's introduce my Herta team. So first of all, I'm gonna introduce Herta first. My Herta is E0S1, so this is a very relatable Herta, unless if you didn't pull her S1. This Herta has 52 to 100 crit ratio. She has a speed of 110 because she doesn't really need speed that much. She doesn't really need to frequently attack, because the Herta at S0 she is very SP negative unit, and at S1 she is a neutral SP character. So you need to take that in your mind, and also the fact that her ult can fill up by your teammates by attacking the enemies themselves. So you don't really need to worry about the energy that much for the Herta, and also not frequently attacking. So I also have her S1, which makes her SP neutral character. I max out everything about everything her traces except for normal attack. I'm using her best in slot relic, so always partner up with an erudition unit, because also it is always a must. I think this is a very staple for every emanators that's gonna be released in the future, that you need to partner them out with another part of this another character of the same path. I also my Herta is E0, so this Herta is very relatable. This is E0S1, very relatable Herta right there. Next is Hyacine. This Hyacine is still work in progress. My Hyacine is still work in progress in building. She's has 204 speed, so making her frequently attack. She is also SP negative unit, so this team is kinda a little bit expensive in terms of SP. So there's a little bit of SP management with this team, because the Hyacine was need to always use her skill, but most of the time, we can manage. I have her S1 as well. This S1 is really one of the best light cones ever, and this is the only problem with Remembrance unit. This Remembrance unit doesn't have free-to-play options yet, especially for like non-DPS units. I mean, for example, sustains. Remember sustains, because you don't have any F2P remember sustain light cones. So unless if they gave us another free light cone like what they did with Anaxa, I hope they do. This is the only downside of pulling for Remembrance unit. You need to pull always for their light cone in order to actually reach their full potential, or at least reach something good on them, because most of the free-to-play light cones doesn't really do that much for them, except for the battle pass, I guess, for DPS characters. The only thing that is only good, because there is actually a decent Remembrance light cone. Wait, this is a very decent Remembrance light cone, especially if you want to give them a very nice stat stick. But the thing is, this is only available for the supports or DPSs. But with the sustains and other supports, this wouldn't. You need to really pull for the light cone. For the traces, I already maxed everything except for the normal attack and the talent. Like I said, this is still work in progress. For the relics, I'm using her best in slot relics as well, and she's also at E0. Now this is the most a little bit expensive character, E0S1 Tribbie. So the reason I didn't pull for S1 is because I think S1 doesn't really have value that much on her character kit, because her E1 is much more valuable compared to her S1, and also because of the fact that giving her this icon called Dance. This is, I think this is the best thing that you could give to Tribbie. In fact, I recommend this more than her S1 because Dance is a icon that gives you a lot of clutches. Like for example, if you have one cycle away from the MOC, like for example, you have one cycle away from getting a 2-star. So if you have Dance, there's a possibility that you can clutch that cycle and prevents you from getting a 2-star. So this Dance Lycon is very good. I think I like this more than her Lycon. Sure, Tribbie's S1 gives a lot more quote-unquote value in terms of support and damage, but Dance is much more better in supporting your whole team, especially advancing forward. And I think E1 is much more valuable compared to S1 because her E1, while the zone lasts and after ally target attack enemies, it gives additional true damage equal to 24% of the total damage of these attacks to targets that have been dealt additional damage by the zone. And also, by the way, this true damage stacks with Remembrance Trailblazer's true damage. So particularly, you have two true damages whenever your DPS attacks. So this is actually good too. So it stacks with the Remembrance Trailblazer's true damage. And as you can see, she's also one of the easiest to build characters here. You just slap her with HP and stuff. So she's a very tough, very reliable support. So far Tribbie, E1 Tribbie is one of the best supports right now in the game. So if you don't have E1 Tribbie, get her E1 on her rerun. Next is Anaxa. This is the most budget character that I ever have because I don't have his Lycon, so he's completely E0S0 and still work in progress, by the way, because he has a 5177 crit ratio. Since I'm using Rutilant Arena, which is, by the way, this is his best in slot Lycon, he needs 70% crit rate. You can actually circumvent it by giving him Push 1 or any characters that boost crit rate to actually proc that Rutilant Arena, but so far, yeah, it's kind of difficult to proc his Rutilant Arena if you don't have any crit rate boosting characters. But so far, my Anaxa is really good, and especially the game gave us a free Anaxa F2P, alternative. And this is what this Lycon is a very Anaxa build because the description here is increases the wearer's attack by 16%. For every one different weakness type on enemy target has increased the damage dealt upon it by the wearer by 8%. Up to max of 7 weakness styles can be taken into account for this effect. So 8 times 7, oh my god, 8 times 7, 56%. Oh my god, math is not mathing. So 56% damage bonus from this for Anaxa is really good. And also it increases the wearer's attack by 16%, which allows you to use energy regeneration rate rope, which is, this is a big deal because it allows Anaxa to frequently use his ult, because his ult is one of the most important things in this game. It also allows him to be an SP positive unit, so you can just basic attack and allows him to use his skill again for free. So yeah, the traces are all max as well because I love Anaxa so much, and he's at E0. So this is one of the most relatable Anaxa ever, E0S0 Anaxa, and he's still already doing good. So now I introduce you the Herta team. Now let's start doing the Apocalyptic Shadow. So as you can see here, this is Cocolia. As you can see here, she has physical resistance, ice resistance, imaginary resistance, and control effect resistance. So she has ice resistance, she doesn't have ice weakness. So basically, how can we beat this character with the Herta, which is an ice character? So yeah, this is actually crazy. Like, I cannot believe that I can beat her with this team. So we're gonna use the Herta, Anaxa, Tribbie, and Hyacine. So this is the most premium team I could ever make. So let me remind you, this is only for fun. If you have this team, you can try it and have some fun. And I'm not saying this is a very relatable team. This is not a free to play. This is not budget team. So this is a very premium team. So this is only for fun. I'm not saying this is really overpowered, because this is a premium team. Premium team always be overpowered. So yeah. Now for the buffs, I recommend the sweeping force, because there is no actual buffs that gives this team has, because there's only one. Remember, for the first buff, we only have one remembrance character. So increases Memo Sprite's weakness break efficiency by 50%, either 20% of the target step when Memo Sprite is damaged. This is a good thing, but the thing is we only have one remembrance character, and it ignores everyone here, which the buff only buffs Hyacine. This one is for DOT characters, and so this is the most generic or generalized buff ever. Increases the crit damage of ultimate damage done by 30%, with an additional increase of 30% against enemy targets that are weakness broken. Because since most of them are relied on their ultimates, especially Tribbie and Anaxa, and this is a good buff for them. Okay, so this is our attempt on beating Cocolia with the Herta team. So I'm very nervous, and how can we do this one? So first we're gonna use Hyacine's technique, Tribbie's technique, Anaxa's technique, and now we're gonna use the Herta's technique. Let's go. Okay, this is gonna be tough. We need to break Gepard first, because Gepard on his second attack, he will give Cocolia some shield, which is gonna be annoying. It's gonna stall our remaining action values, so we need to actually beat the shit out of him. But we need to heal them first. And then we're gonna use ult. There we go. And then we're gonna use ult as well. So get an action forward the Herta and Anaxa. As you can see here, this is why I love Dance Dance, because you can see here it action forwards these characters. Before I use this ult, they are actually far away. So yeah, she's actually a good Lyco. So that's why I prefer this over her S1. There we go. Okay, nice. So the thing is, okay, I think I can use skill here. There we go. Then ult. Okay, nice. That's actually a good. We need to focus on Gepard first. We need to focus on him. There we go, and then use ult. Okay, there we go. That's actually a good move. I also killed 2 of the icicles. Should I focus on... Okay. That's actually a good move. The only problem is that the Herta got freeze. There we go, that's actually a good move. Basic attack first. It's kinda risky, because the moment this guy attacks, he will get a shield, but we can break him immediately. Oh my god, that's actually almost there. There, he gave a shield, sadly, but we can manage. Alright, we're gonna use basic attack. Okay, we can break him now. And then we need to break Cocolia. Can we break her? Yes, we can break her. Let's go. That's actually good. And then we're gonna use Hyacine's ult. All of their ults, by the way. All of their ults. Because there's no really repercussions on this. Because we're all like Gucci. Man, I love Anaxa's NP attack. That's actually good. Good animation. That's so badass. Why Erudition characters have badass ults? Damn, as you can see here, guys, oh my god. So by the way, let me explain first how Anaxa works if you don't know yet. So by the way, this guy is adding weaknesses, right? But these weaknesses is just incomplete. What I say incomplete is because while he gives some weaknesses, he doesn't reduce the resistance of this of the weakness of the weaknesses he gives. So there's no resistance word on there. So for example, if he gives ice weakness on Cocolia, Cocolia is still ice resistant. So in order to circumvent that, we're using Tribbie for that because her skill gives an old type rest shred, which is a very good thing. So that's why we need to partner him up with any support that has old type rest. And these two characters are Tribbie and Ruame. I don't know other supports if they have old type rest penetration. So this is why we use Tribbie to give. While this is an incomplete weakness, the Herta can penetrate on that ice resistance. So this is a very good thing. So yeah, despite of the incomplete weakness here, we have Tribbie to at least give some penetration on that resistance. I said shred, but it's actually penetration. So sorry, I apologize for that mistake. I think we can use skill here to fill up her. Oh, there we go. We actually got to the second half at 1,785. I think if I do better, I think we can get to 1.8, which is a very serious cycle on that part. So this is actually a good thing. This is their ally. This is these two are their ally. 5 enemies on the. Okay, she doesn't have the debuff that Anaxa has, so we need to use his skill. There we go. Nice. I'm just gonna basic attack here. There we go, that's actually good. And then we're gonna use skill here. That's actually a good thing. Let's go. There we go. We're actually doing good. We're actually doing good. Okay, we can use ult first because if we use skill, we can have energy refund here. Nice, that's actually a good move. We're just gonna basic attack her because she has the debuff, so you can use the skill freely. That's actually a good thing. We're gonna use skill here. There we go. That's actually a good move. Let's go. We can receive the attack. Okay, effect rest. That's actually good. Our fat guy has effect rest. Let's go. Oh, we don't have ice weakness anymore. We need Anaxa to implant it. Okay, we can receive this at full blow because we have icing. Let's go. Oh, this is a mistake. This is a misplay. I shouldn't have used Herta's ult because she doesn't have ice weakness yet. That's actually a misplay on my part. I got just a muscle memory moment right there. But I think we can refund it. I think we can get it back. Let's go. That's actually a good move. There we go. We got our SP. We're not gonna use Hyacine's ult yet because we have 2 stocks yet. So there's no really worry about it. Right, there we go. Use ult here. Good. Oh my god. This is so good. She has ice resistance, by the way. This is crazy. This is the most insane team. This is the most. Oh my god. This premium team is freaking crazy. They basically doesn't care about ice weakness. This team doesn't care if there's an ice weakness on this enemy. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god. Oh my freaking god. Ice resistance what? Ice resistance what? Holy shit. Okay. Oh my god. She got bitten by the fat. So we got 3.5k score on the premium team. It could be better, but that's the Herta is an ice character and Cocolia is an ice resistant enemy. Holy my, that's actually insane team. They beaten an ice resistant character that doesn't have ice weakness because we have Anaxa giving the weakness, incomplete weakness, and then we have Tribbie for that resistance penetration. That's actually crazy. This team is actually crazy. this is one of the best teams that HSR gave to me right now. I really love this team. So yeah, as you can see from that run, that's actually crazy. Cocolia has an ice weakness, which I shown before I start the battle, and they just swept the floor with her. That's actually crazy. The Herta is such a good unit alongside with Anaxa. Anaxa really allows the Herta to be used on any enemies along with Tribbie as well, because without Tribbie, while Anaxa did give them a weakness, Tribbie is a must because of the resistance penetration, because Anaxa doesn't give resistance shred or any resistance penetration, unlike Silver World. By the way, Silver World is the one who gives complete weakness. Okay, wait. Silver World gives a complete weakness, and Anaxa gives incomplete, because Silver World, while gives also a weakness, he also gives a resistance shred, which is a very good thing. So yeah, that's why you need to partner Anaxa with a harmony character that actually gives resistance shred or all type rest penetration. So that's it for this video. If you have these characters, try it out. Even if you don't have their S1, it's okay. I think they will do just fine. And yeah, I also had a lot of misplays there, by the way, so I admit to that, and I could do better. But as you can see there, despite a lot of misplays, I got some very decent score. So I think that's all for this video. I showcased the Herta team so far. They're one of the best. So yeah, if you really like more of this content, give a like. And if you're still not subscribed, subscribe right now. And I'm gonna put, if you want also to go in my Discord server, I'm gonna put the invite link down in the description below. So that's all for this video. See you guys next time. Bye.